this this campaign to have everybody as part of this archive is helping me learn a lot about all the members, and it's very exciting for me. I'm finding it a real hoot, and it's great. And I hope everybody else is getting as much out of it and learning a lot about their fellow artists. And I think that's part of what makes us a really unique art club, is that we're all connected on another level than just coming to a meeting and showing off our artwork. So without anything else, I'll let Ruth take over, Ruth Johnson, and tell us what inspires you, when you started, and what keeps you going, okay?
Thank you very much,
Thank
Barbara.
you.
I want to thank you again, just like Jerry did, for everybody who came out tonight on a miserable, wet night. And my name is Ruth Johnson. I've been painting or drawing ever since I could remember. I mean, sometimes we wonder where it comes from. I mean, my father had an art talent, but it's just a gift from God, and I feel it's a blessing that enriches our lives and gives us something that we can always, we'll never bored, as long as we have a piece of paper and a pencil. So ever since I remember, I loved art, and in school there were always little projects the teacher would ask you to take part in, and you know, it was just wonderful. And ever since I went back, because I did not throw out certain things from years ago, and I could say that in the beginning I used to like to draw figures and people, and that's what I zeroed in on, faces, and I would like to draw faces. So these are more or less high school, and also, cartoonist. I was a cartoonist in high school in the school paper. So Don, where is he? Doug is a cartoonist. I did little cartoons that were, you know, I could pass all these around if you would like that.
I love cartoons.
Yeah, you know, things
Oh, they're
like
great.
this.
No, it's good.
But then, I don't know, if I had a piece of paper and a pencil, I would have a story going in my head. And I would, you know, nobody had to talk to me. I would go from one thing to the other, and I would draw figures. Like here's a sort of a Huckleberry Finn. And when I opened up the folder, I started to look at this. I thought, this must have been a Hurricane Sandy. You know, there's no date on anything. You can
All
see
yellow with age, right?
all yellow with age. Here's a serviceman and a woman, I don't know. During the war, too, we used to see a lot of sailors and soldiers. And there's a supermarket scene.
Well, that's cool. That's adorable.
Yeah, and they kept well, believe it or not. I had all these in the basement. There's a still life. And you know, I must say in high school, we had very good art teachers. I had very good art teachers. Art wasn't considered anything practical, so my parents didn't encourage me in the art field. But here's the drawing for it, and then we did scratch board.
Yeah.
So that's kind of nice.
Very nice, yeah. What is scratch board?
Well, you color it, and then you go over
It's
it
a
with
black
liquid
background.
ink, and then you scratch it all off. So,
That's nice.
something like that, high school days. And then I attempted,
Where'd you grow up?
oh, in Elmont.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it was the Elmont School District. And I must say, the teachers, then I went to Swanica High School, and there I took art besides business. So business was my major, you know, but my heart was in the art room. This is gypsies dancing.
Nice.
Is that a well?
Yeah, that's
A
an
lot of gypsies in Elmont.
And then I did this for my grandmother. I did this for a Mother's Day gift to her. And she had it hanging in her home until the house broke up, but I think I was 1955, this was, about 17 years old when I did that. I think I copied it from a church folder, front of a church folder. So she had a frame there. So then, after I left high school, I went to the city and I worked in Manhattan. But I went down to 59th Street to the Art Students League.
Yeah.
And there we took, I took a course in sketching, figure sketching. And this is the only thing I could find from it, was a man's face.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Really?
Detail on his face.
What a face.
He was a model, we sketched from life. So I would walk down to 59th Street from 42nd and eat in the, what was that? The automat.
Yeah.
Point it out.
Remember the automat?
15th century years.
And that was really
Point it
nice.
out, yeah.
And then I would take the evening course there. So after that, I came to Long Island, I got a job in Sperry, and as a secretary. And I couldn't just work there in the business world. I took up adult education, a watercolor class, and that's where I discovered watercolor. Actually, it was with John Rogers. I don't know if anyone here knew him, but he was a quiet man and a wonderful artist, I mean, a terrific. And he would do demonstrations for us, and we would watch, and then we would attempt it on our own. And I still remember stretching the paper. We used to use 75-pound paper, and you'd wet it in the bathtub, you know, and lay it out on a piece of plywood. And the whole edge I would cover with just the edge of the paper with Elmer's glue. And then when you were through, you'd cut it off and build it up again with the next piece. And before you know it, you had a whole edge, and it would get tight as a drum on there. And this was his method of stretching paper.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and he was wonderful. And when I first,
What glue do you use?
Elmer's, it was just Elmer's glue.
White glue.
Yeah, white glue. But he introduced me to watercolor, and it was like magic, you know, to watch those colors blend and all. So some of my beginning watercolors I have here, but you know, at that time I didn't understand values, so I would outline everything like in black with ink first. And these are scenes in Shelter Island. We used to go out to
That's
Shelter
early.
Island.
Very nice.
I would ink, you know, ink
That's
them
your
in.
early work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're nice. They're very nice.
Oh,
But
beautiful.
this was in Greenport.
Very nice.
Show it to the camera.
It's a
Show
style.
the camera.
Show it to the camera?
Show it to
Oh,
John.
All of them. Yeah.
oh, okay. I remember this place in Shelter Island. But you could see that everything was lined with black. I don't know. I mean, some artists do that today, and it's accepted, but I wanted, I don't know, I just...
Did you outline first the painting and then you painted it? The old Victorian era type?
Yeah, I think I did. Or else I went over it
Like
later,
that green in there, Ruth.
you know?
Beautiful.
And I love color, right away. I love
Perspective.
color. Now, here I'm getting a little different, I think, but it's still all hard edges. Everything is hard.
A very good perspective.
And I think
Very good, yeah,
these were
perspective.
with John Rogers, these paintings.
That's very difficult.
Yeah, and the way they, what was that? The Payne's Gray skies. He always did Payne's Gray skies, and I loved it. I thought this was great. Here I tried to get a little more
Very beautiful.
glow in the painting. Oh, going back to high school again. Look at this. Look at this.
That's your computer.
That's a thing out of
The
there.
kids wouldn't even know what it is today. Did you know what that?
Is that a new computer?
Oh, and this was like an ad. Look at it. It says
Oh
Smoking
smoking
jacket.
jackets.
30 cents.
Satin velvet corduroy, $30.
That's really great.
That's how times changed.
Yeah, I love- that was a commercial class, right?
The teachers, they would do everything, a little bit of everything with us.
And that's how
they
you
were-
also learn,
Yeah,
doing a little bit of
a
everything.
little bit of everything, jumping from one project to the next.
Yeah,
And there were, I mean, I can't say anything bad about high school art, it was wonderful.
that's a good question.
So, let's see, where do we go from here?
This-
Oh, here's the difference. Here you can see the difference in this type. This is the same place, and then later on I did it. It was a boathouse out in Shelter Island, we used to.
Oh, this is the first one? and then-
Yeah, this
Big
is
difference.
big difference,
Yeah,
how you progress, you know, as you get.
you have the feeling of the sun and everything there,
Yeah.
but you don't have it there, yeah.
No, the shadows,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, very sensitive touch in that.
I
one.
think I became more delicate
You
in
did.
my
It
touch.
showed.
Yes.
Yeah. In the beginning, you're more, I don't know, detailed, I guess.
The beginning.
That was 1977. Wow.
Since dates.
I had a date on here. I usually don't do that. Children's. Anyway, where did I go from there? Okay. Oh, all right. Then I got married. After Sperry, I got married. And we moved out here to Smithtown. And my husband bought property, and he had graduated from Farmingdale Agricultural School. So he was a gardener. I mean, he loved plants, growing, and I fell right into it. I mean, I more or less gave up art for a while, and we had greenhouses, and everything I touched grew too. I was pretty good at it. I mean, and he went into daylilies. We used to grow daylilies, and we had a big garden. And then we opened up a plant shed right next door on the property. We got a piece next door. So I used to have customers coming in, and occasionally I would make little paintings and I would sell them too. But for years I didn't do much for a while. Then the children started coming, they got busy, and I didn't have time, you know, to paint. But then later on I went to the Art League of Long Island. That's what it's called now. And I started taking a once-a-week class with Lucy Taylor. Does anybody know Lucy?
Lucy.
She was a wonderful teacher. She still is a wonderful teacher. She still teaches too there, and
At the Art League?
at the Art League, yeah. And she taught me values. She taught me so many things that I would have learned if I had gone to art school, you know. And I still remember I was asking Lucy, what are values? And she said, well, you know, the lighter values, the same color, the lighter. It was a while before I caught on to that. And we did everything there. We did plein air. I went for quite a few years, once a week with her. And,
Did you do watercolor there?
yes, she was a watercolor teacher. And I also took a class with Ruth and she was a floral, mostly floral. But she was great too. She was a wonderful teacher. And anyway, I stayed with them for quite a while. And as the years went by, I needed work. I had to go to work. So I went to Kings Park Hospital, and I took a job there, working with the patients. And I got into the recreation department. And I had my own art cart, and I had my own wards that I used to go and take care of in the evenings. I worked evenings, and there were so many talented people there, you know. And a lot of them used to love to do paint by numbers. So I had all that. I had all the crafts with me, and we used to do handwork, needlecraft. The older ladies used to love to do needlecraft. And I loved that job there. It was very rewarding, and I had a chance to do art with them. And so I worked quite a few years, 18 years with the state, you know. But I always kept going to a class if I could get away somewhere. So that happened. Oh, and in the evenings, since I worked evenings, I would have a supper hour, and I would go up to the bluff. Now, I don't know if any of you are familiar with the Smithtown Bluff, and that's where I used to see those rocks. And
Gorgeous.
I would be there in the evening when the sun was just about going down like that, and I would say, you know, I got to paint those rocks. and I took photographs of them, and
It's fantastic.
that was a really an inspired painting. I really felt I had to paint that.
Peaceful.
So, the rocks are still there. In fact, this bluff goes right up, and up at the top, you can drive up there and park your car, and you can see Connecticut on a clear day. It's so beautiful there.
Ruth, what medium did you use?
That's all acrylic,
Very
yeah, acrylic.
How long were you sitting out there doing it, or did you do
No,
it in your?
I just took photographs. I worked at home. Yeah.
Very beautiful.
My dad lived with me for a number of years, and we turned our garage into a room for him. And, you know, it has its own little kitchenette, like a little sink and a bathroom and all. So that's my art room now. So after he passed
But
away.
he's proud of you.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now let's see where I
What
can go
about
from
mountain
here.
down there?
Oh,
The rocks
oh,
down
this, oh, Maine, yeah. Well,
You just
what
did
what I enjoyed doing was getting away for a while just to paint. And I found out about elder hostels. Now, that's a wonderful thing to do if you want to. They have art groups. I think the first one I went on, the first workshop I went on was with Don Stone up in Maine. Remember, you know Don Stone?
Yeah.
He's very well known. And I read about it in an art magazine, and I had never been to a workshop before. And these were all people who were very familiar with workshops. I mean, they were from Boston, New England area, and myself and a friend, we went, and I didn't even know what supplies to bring. I mean, I was really, but I learned a lot there. I mean, he was a very good artist, and it was really something different. So after that, I started looking into elder hostels, and I've been to this, Maine a couple of times with elder hostels, and some of them even provided supplies, you know, and it was really pretty reasonable. We would stay in maybe a college or, and they would take us out to different locations.
They give you very good accommodations.
Very good accommodation, and the food was good, everything was provided, you know. And if you didn't, if the teacher didn't connect with you, you could go off on your own. So then twice, I went to the Isle of Shoals with the Elder Hostel. Now that was excellent, that's where
Where's that?
Child Hassan painted.
Where?
It's off the coast of, let's see, not Rhode Island, New Hampshire. Yes, they take you out by boat, and you just spend a whole week out there.
And like they took a lot of nice pictures.
Oh, I have, yes,
Yeah.
I have lots of nice pictures. But I'll never forget the first time I went, I painted all week, and then we would have an art show the last day. And the boat that came in to pick us up, to take us back to the mainland, brought the Historical Society. So I sold all my paintings.
Oh,
Paid for the whole trip.
yeah, that's also a good feeling.
It was nice, yeah, I know. And they were not even matted or anything. I mean, we
What
just...
ones they were, yeah, very good.
We just tacked them up on boards, and so that was great. Anyway, with the Elder Hostel, I went to the Adirondacks upstate. That was Ragged Lake. That was the
That's a
Vanderbilt.
nice place.
Yeah, that was a
I love
watercolor
that.
class. And Cape May, they have worked out in Cape May. And we painted the old Victorian houses, you know. So that was wonderful too. Anyway, so I stayed with the state and retired. Then I started painting in earnest, and I joined Wet Paints then. And in fact, I think I still have that painting. Well, anyway.
What
it's
year
part
was
of it.
that?
Let's see, I was, tell my age then. I was 62, so, anyway, about 13 years ago, 14 years, no, 13 years ago, right.
Where
And,
is that painting?
okay.
13 years, you think?
This is, this one?
Yes.
Oh, that's the, that's in Sayville.
That's good.
The Maritime.
Yes, Maritime, yes. Standing from the other side, I took a photograph
Oh,
of
that's the
it.
Charlotte.
Yeah,
Before.
the
it
Charlotte,
was,
before it was in dry dock, right.
Is that acrylic or?
That's acrylic, it's all acrylic,
That's good.
yeah. And there was a sky that I liked, you know, I saw the sky in a photo, in a picture somewhere, and I thought, well, I'm going to put the sky in and make it look like it's late afternoon and try to get that mood, you know, of the evening.
Like sunset.
Sunset,
Yeah.
right. I like to try to get some mood in my paintings if I could, or a glow, some kind of a glow to it.
It looks like.
These two,
That has a vibrance to it.
Yeah.
this one and the one over there are both plein air. They were done on the spot. This one is in Stony Brook at the park, Stony Brook Park, and this is down in Brookhaven here. Oh, I should show you some of these now. Oh, I love to do local scenes. I really got hooked on local things. So this is Stony Brook.
Oh, I know that.
You know that
You
spot?
recognize it.
Yeah. Now, if I had to do it over again, I would put a group of geese flying here in the sky. Because I wanted to, these two geese are sort of hanging around waiting to go, you know? And, but this is Asia clay.
Very nice.
I didn't want to bring anything tonight that was too heavy with, because I still have the original of this. This one is Greenport,
Is that Preston's?
Preston's Greenport.
And that ship, is that the one
Yeah.
that went down? Is that the one that sank?
I think they called it the Mary.
That's not the one that went down, is it?
That's
Bounty?
a bounty.
Yeah.
The bounty went
The
down.
bounty.
Bounty, but I don't think, was the Bounty out there?
I don't know.
Yes.
Yes, it was out there.
During Sandy, yeah, bounty was there.
Around to see.
No, this wasn't the Bounty. I called this Sea Dog, because I put the little dog in it.
Yes.
And I wanted to get an early morning,
Yeah.
like,
Some-
glow in the sky, like it's early in the morning.
Nice.
Very nice.
Oh, this also is up at the bluff. If you walk all around here, see that little rock there?
Yeah.
And this is where all the egrets and the swans come in late in the evening, you know, and this big rock is
well drawn.
hard.
Are these rocks still there?
Yes.
Really?
Oh,
That's
you
the one
could,
in the back.
yeah, you could go up there anytime. And Carol, I took Carol
God
there
put
the
them
other day.
there and nobody wants to take them away.
Oh.
It's a Smithtown Park. Smithtown Park. So, okay, oh, and this is Montauk, the lobster shack out there. And this also is the bluff. Well, no, Sunken Meadow. Sunken Meadow, if you walk off to the right,
Yes.
you know, and you walk up in there, there's trees and and I picked one particular tree with sort of a windblown,
Ruth, if you walk, in Sunken Meadow, you walk on the boardwalk
yes,
to the right,
yes.
and you walk, and when it ends, the boardwalk ends?
Yeah, you keep going around the parking lot, and then you could go, you know, you could walk all along the edge here if you want.
Wow.
Or else you could walk along here, it's just dunes,
Oh, I didn't
and
know
then the
that.
ocean, the water's on this side, yeah.
Fantastic.
But,
I used to go there so often, I don't know.
It's a nice park.
it's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Yeah,
So good.
yeah. But Sandy washed away the land dam,
Really?
that dam, that, you know, that used to, but I'm sure they'll repair it. Yeah, they had a big flood there. So, let's see now, I have other things. Oh, in the meantime, I took a course in collage with Jerry Bromer upstate. I went upstate. And these are some of the classes. Yeah. We spent every evening till 9 o'clock just painting little bits of paper with watercolor.
Nice.
And then we would, with, what was called this medium, it's like a glue. And then you would, you know, adhere it to the,
Hodge podge?
How did you keep
Yes.
them straight? Because they curly cute once you paint them.
you lay it down and then with a brush, you just adhere it down. And then you go over the whole thing.
Or was that tissue paper that was colored
Right.
already?
Tissue, yes.
Yes, tissues.
That was colored already?
No,
No,
I
no.
painted them all.
That's why I say, how do you keep, once you color it curls, how does
I
it?
don't know, we just keep it flat.
You
Do you
trace it
paint
down.
one?
Yeah, it's a
Piece
it's a
like that,
medium.
and then you paint it
I
over
just
piece,
ripped
and then
it all
tear
up, tore it all up, and then I
And
just
you
kept
painted the
painting
tears?
all shades of like one color, you know, or blues, or, I mean, if you're gonna be a collage artist, you have to
Patient.
keep everything in patience, and this one too.
What's the color?
I love it.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, Lester was with us, Lester Sprague.
Yeah, that's the.
Lester and also another gal there, I forget now. But it was a great week. And he made us work. We worked hard.
What is the backing, a Bainbridge board or
Yeah. just
illustration
board.
board?
Yeah, and then I matted it, you know. I cut my own mats. I have a mat cutter, and so it all works well. It just takes time. Oh, this was in Maine. I have a friend who lives up in Maine, and she invited me to come up. She's now painting also. So we were walking along, and I took this photo, you know. In fact, there was some people down here swimming. I don't know. It was,
The drown.
the water is
Drowned.
pretty cold. I didn't put them in.
Is that acrylic?
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah, it's all acrylic. Here's some more things, you know. This was done on an elder house, though. A little more abstract,
I love that one.
you know, and it was
I like that.
a full scene. We were up there in the autumn. It was a wonderful week. Now, here we have a still life. Now, I wanted just to mention to everyone here, this dark is just red and green mixed together, and look at the wonderful dark you get.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and it's a warm dark. It's not, if you use just black, it would be like a black hole, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
But I found it, and I think if it didn't cover completely, I would just go over it with red, and it would work.
Is that watercolor?
Yeah.
That's watercolor, that's what
Wow.
it's.
Yes.
Strong color.
Yeah,
makes
it's red and
everything-
green.
It makes everything stand out.
Yeah.
Did you mix,
Colors,
mix
yeah.
it layer by layer, or did you mix first red and black?
I mixed red and black together, got a good thick red and black,
And then you paint.
and then painted it over.
Is that all drawn out before you,
Oh yeah, I sketch it out, all out in pencil.
Mhm.
Yeah, and
It's beautiful, grapes.
yeah, figs. These were kumquats.
Very beautiful.
And I had an opportunity to make a trip to China while I was working, you know. And I took a lot of photographs. So this is the bird market in Beijing.
Wow.
Nice.
They love birds.
Oh,
They had
yeah.
all kinds of birds, you know, and in cages all over the place. That was really something. And then I took this picture of a couple in a sampan.
Wow.
Oh,
That's
Beautiful.
fantastic.
Yeah,
wonderful work.
that was interesting.
Yeah, look at that water, beautiful.
Yeah, the Yangtze River is brown. You know,
Yeah.
I was surprised to see that, how
Yeah.
yellowish
That's in
brown it was.
China?
Yeah.
In China.
Our
yeah.
allies?
Yeah. Now, where am I going from there? Let's see. Oh, well, I like to do architecture. I always enjoyed architecture. But I really didn't bring any of my, yeah. I do house portraits, you know, people like house portraits. But I think with house portraits, I remember my daughter asked me to do a friend of hers house, and she gave me a picture, and I thought, you know, it's okay, but I said, you've got to take me over to see it. I have to. And the picture looked like a bluish house. Well, I go over there and I look, I said, that house is green now. I mean, you cannot paint from a picture.
Mildew.
Really have to see it with the building. No, it was a beautiful house, but And then the mother wanted her house painted, so I got a few commissions. These are some,
Yeah.
oh, here, you know, we saw that movie, that, what was it, by that artist Janet, she should.
Movie?
Right, that was at Pen Women.
Pen Women, yes.
Yeah.
And she was showing us how she does
Janet
her,
Rogers was it?
yes,
Yeah,
Janet
right.
Rogers, and how she does
Yeah, I'm looking
her,
at it,
so, figures. So I went home and I saw this girl, this was last autumn in the newspaper, and I thought, you know, that's really nice. And she left all the whites, you know, the light on there. So I did it quickly. And so I just thought I'll show you. This was up in Star Island. Star Island, you know, up at two paintings from Star Island.
Beautiful.
Very nice.
This is still life.
What weight is that paper, Ruth?
This, now I'm doing 140 pound. 140 pound. Whoops. Oh, here we go. Here's,
Beautiful.
I guess you can't see on that side.
Very beautiful.
I'll pass them around if you want. This is a historical house in Smithtown. The side of it in the springtime.
See, it's
It's so
flat.
beautiful. The background is magnificent.
Yeah, everything
Yeah.
is so soft in the
It
house,
looks
really.
like a fairy tale.
Yeah, flat. Just put a weight on it.
Are the people still living in there?
No, this is one of the historical
Is
houses.
that
Just
Bill's
sitting
farm?
there.
Nobody sits, nobody lives
You
there?
pass it by and
No,
But the historical society.
they own it.
No, they would like to buy this. I'm
Yeah.
sure.
they probably own it.
You gotta frame it, you know?
I know.
Oh, they buy it.
This is the
Yeah.
Nisququag River. I used to go to a lot of shows, but lately I'm a little lazy.
Well, the chickens keep you busy.
Yeah, I have chickens now.
Do you have chickens? You should paint them, they're in.
You know, roosters,
Yeah, let
yeah.
me tell you, they're in paintings, they love, people love to buy chickens in paintings.
Well, we had to get rid of the roosters. We got a citation from the town of Smithtown.
Waking up the neighbors.
This is my backyard in the snow. Oh, and this is the Caleb Smith barns.
Very nice.
Where do you keep your chickens?
Oh, my son, they're his chickens. He built a chicken house in the back. They're not near my home. I mean, they're in the back.
He's out in the farm?
Yeah, out in the back. This is Blydenburg Park.
Oh,
The
yeah.
name of that's
It
not
almost looks
good.
like
Yeah.
Williamsburg,
Overview.
Thank you.
doesn't it?
Over here.
Yeah. Yeah, they ride there. It's a horse country back there. This is
Is that the grist mill?
Yellow
the
milk?
grist mill,
No.
Stony
Very
Brook.
beautiful.
I like that
You got a
position
great
you
angle
up
on
and
that.
down there,
Yeah.
well, all around you. That's the
Well-
best position I've ever seen.
Yeah, how did you
Yeah.
get over there without getting wet?
Yeah.
But they allow you to.
Waiters? No, I found a little picture of it from that angle. And you know Elizabeth Graff in Stony Brook, she's an artist in Stony Brook. She owned the house where this backyard came, and she said to me once, she said, "You must have been in my backyard when you did that." But I found a photo, and I did it in the summer and springtime too.
Very, very good.
I
You
had
really learned
You
your
can't
your
see that
values,
view.
Ruth.
Yeah, I learned the values.
Over here, there's this street here, and you walk across the street,
Right,
and you walk into a park, it has actually a walkway
Yeah.
about 4 or 5 feet wide
Oh,
for
around
people.
mine.
right.
It's
Avalon,
giant,
Avalon, Avalon Park.
I got lost in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You never go
Yeah.
along because that's fun.
I was over on the grist.
Yeah, this is very
That's an
good.
experience
It's
that
very
everybody
lovely.
wants to
Yeah.
really enjoy and walk.
And if you want a better experience, take a tour of the mill
Oh,
when it's
yes.
working.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. And this, I just like to do trees, you know, so I did, it could be almost anywhere.
Yeah.
Do you use
The
this?
trees are alive.
Sometimes, like I think I used it on this tree. See the white? You could see little hard edges. Frisket gives you such hard edges,
Yeah.
but it's good. Certain times I use it.
With
So-
such patience.
Beautiful work.
Beautiful
Talk
work.
about that one, that collage.
Oh, the collage,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I call it ebb tide, and that is the tide going out between the rocks, and I tried to get the light coming in from the left, hitting the tops of the rocks, here in this corner, and then I brought lines down.
Yeah, I see now from here, when
Yeah,
you say you put lines, how it sharpens the bright.
yes, like
Yeah.
a certain
Oh,
line is
yes.
following all the way down into,
That's a collage too?
that's a collage too.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Has a sort of a pattern then in it.
Very beautiful.
I love that one.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
the colors are so sensitive.
Yeah,
Wonderful work.
hits the light. And
See
the
what else
sun
I
is
can
there.
tell you about. That's about it. Gerald Bromer was such an inspiration. I mean, he told us to, in the end, I still remember the last day, he said to us that being an artist is similar, actually, as being a doctor or a minister. He said, because you're entertaining people, you're making them feel good by your art, and don't ever undervalue your art, because just think about the people in California, when if they have a fire, an unfortunate fire comes, what are the first things they save? Their photographs and their art.
Yeah.
And he said, and always remember that, and, you know, and we should all be grateful we can paint.
That's right.
And we have a bond together that is real, you
Yes.
know, because we're all artists.
You're very talented.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Does anybody have any questions?
Love it. Very nice.
No?
Questions?
When you say you paint in acrylic and watercolor, what do you prefer?
I don't know, I like it both. Are you watching Jerry Arnell? He's on Create now,
Yes.
and I'm getting a feeling of going back to acrylic again, you know?
Oh, is that where he escaped?
He is acrylic.
What time is,
He
what
is
time is
a-
Stereo now.
He's on Mondays, I think at 12:30, and Fridays. And he does one painting and he continues every, for the next session, he'll continue on. And I love watercolor too.
Exact channel?
Watercolor,
21, oh,
trouble is,
133.
we have to keep the glass on it, you know, and it gets heavy to carry around. So, but with acrylic, I mean, you just pop a frame on
Have you
it.
ever used acrylic like watercolor?
Yeah, he does acrylic.
You could, I guess, you water it down, no, I never did. I try to use it more like oils. And then I spray it with a acrylic
Medium.
medium in the end, yeah.
What time did you say Jerry Arnell was on?
I think it's 12:30
On Fridays.
on Mondays and Fridays.
I gotta try to get that.
Yeah, check it
On
out.
the calendar, they have these schedules.
It's very good.
They have the, if you have cable, they will look up, I guess.
You watching it?
Okay,
You watching it?
Work is amazing. I you say at the beginning, these were the early work, and then I see your work now and see a huge progression, which you wouldn't imagine. So I can think into the future how much more amazing it's going to be.
it's almost frightening.
Is there any steps you want to take or anything you imagine?
I would like to get more moods. I like to get some kind of a mood in a painting, or something that would evoke a feeling, you know? And I like light too. I like to capture
Capture it so beautifully.
light.
You
You
do
know,
a good
and
job
I
with
remember
that.
how Lucy told us about having a focal point, something to draw your eye in, and I had subscribed to American Art Review, and I remember in the evenings, we would watch TV, and I would just leaf through, it was like going to a museum, and it just looking at other people's artwork you learn from,
Oh, yes.
you know, just examining it and critiquing it if you want.
Beautiful, beautiful work.
How long does it take you to stay, to do the painting?
I work on it.
Who asked that?
Yes.
I'm just serious, because I see the detail that you have on your sketching. Is your sketching all detailed before you start?
Well, I don't know, I think, yeah, pretty much so. I know where I'm going to put various things, you know, you have to plan it out in your head.
Yeah.
Do you do thumbnails?
What?
Do those little thumbnail sketches? Do you do lots of those
Oh.
and then
Yeah, well,
composition wise?
so it's good to do that, yeah. Because then once you start your painting, you have it already planned out. And I know some people even put, make the values, you know, but, I don't know.
Beautiful.
Mm.
You should give us a demonstration of watercolor one day. I'd love to see your
I
work.
want to join that class on Wednesday too, over at Brightwaters.
Okay.
Yeah, come, it's
Yes.
devoted to watercolor.
Yeah, because,
But you can work in any medium.
yeah, I checked it out, how to get there on the map.
Very good.
Well, it's not, no, it's on Monte Carlo.
Mine-
Does Andy still go?
Yeah,
Andy still
Sandy
going?
Green. And, Sandy?
Andy?
Andy
Yeah, when he
Watch.
doesn't have a class.
Yeah.
On
He's
Wednesday.
teaching at Baca now.
oh,
Yeah,
you
he
know,
is.
one thing I forgot to say is how I stretch paper now.
Yeah, that's what he is.
I read about this in, I think one of the art magazines. Like after you soak the paper, I'll lay it out flat, and then I'll take a little strip of mat board and just staple it on. And the mat board then tightens it down. And then when you want to remove it, you just pull the strip and the whole thing comes right out. All the staples pop right out with the mat board. Yes,
Rip the
and
paper?
like that's what I do. I
You
did.
see
See
the
all
holes?
the holes?
Yeah,
Right.
And that's, you
they're on
know,
the side, so
you
it
get
doesn't hurt.
staples that are not too deep.
Oh.
The shallower
How does it
ones.
stretch it?
Well, then as it dries, it tightens.
Yeah. Yeah, as
It
it
tightens the paper down, and then
the
Staple
mat
piece
is
of
holding.
mat.
it's holding it all around, and then it's so easy to remove. I mean, compared to what John Rogers told us
Is
to
your
do.
mat board solid?
No, just little strips.
Pieces,
Like,
right?
after
Yeah.
you cut your mats, you know, you save up
Yeah,
everything.
okay.
And you put, you tape it, you staple it down on.
Yeah,
so
on
it's-
a board, on
And
a,
then you put the mat,
So it's
yes,
stapled to a board.
yeah, to a board, yes.
and the strip can,
The whole thing, I'll just pull it from one end and it pops right,
Oh,
it all comes right
if
off.
I do it in rips, I'll die.
No, it wouldn't rip the paper.
Well, you do that before you paint, right?
I don't know,
So you
maybe
wouldn't be
about,
swallowing your paint.
3 or 4 minutes till it's,
Because it's straight, the one that you push,
Yeah.
before you paint.
Do you depend
Yeah.
on the mat board
But
to
you
make
have-
the
you don't
straight
do
edge?
it painting.
well, they're all pretty straight already because they came from mats that I
Mats,
had
right,
cut. Yeah, so I just keep the
Just line it up,
strips.
right, right.
I'll cut myself a whole bunch of strips,
What's your favorite paper?
That's an interesting tip.
arches,
Or sheets?
sheets or, yeah. Or else when I go out, I have blocks. A block, you know, when you go outdoor painting.
Yeah, blocks.
Yeah, they're nice,
Yes,
yeah.
they limit your size, but, you
Yeah,
got it.
well, I try to keep, you know, some of them for 16 by 20 size. Like this was done on a block,
It's beautiful.
yeah, and so,
You can go outside, you don't want to do
One
it.
more beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, thank you so
No,
much.
honestly, I'm not
Thank
saying
you for
that
coming.
I never give compliments very easy. But this is
Oh, I'm honored, I'm honored.
Top shelf.
Very nice. I'm glad to see so much more of your work.
Oh,
I have a block.
well, I had been a member of Wet Paints, you know, for a while, then I dropped out for a while, and health issues. So, you know,
Good job, very good job.
Very well.
And for us, thank you very much.